Hey, what's up, guys? It's Brian, aka Taking Souls. So, you want to get into streaming, but you don't have the money to build an expensive streaming PC. You don't have a ton of money to invest in all the other items and things that you need to start streaming. Well, today I'm going to show you what I did. I was basically in that position a few months ago where I wanted to start streaming, just didn't want to dump a bunch of money into it until I found out if I liked it, see if you get any followers, and just see if you enjoy it. So I wanted to start off as cheap as possible and then kind of build my way up from there. I'm currently in the process of building a gaming and streaming PC and slowly upgrading things over time. Plan to put a video out for that in the future, but let's jump into it and I can go over a list of things that you guys will need, and then also I'll have links for everything that I currently use down in the description. Okay, so the first thing we're going to go over is a list of the things that you're going to need to stream. Some of these things you probably already have or you should have. Some of them you may need to look around or you're not sure exactly what the best things are to use. So we'll go over that right now. The first thing that you're going to need is your console. I'm assuming if you're watching this, you're probably planning to stream from console. If you're already on PC, that's totally fine. Most of you will probably be playing on PS5 or Xbox, so you'll obviously need your console. The next thing that you're going to need is your capture card. The capture card is what will allow you to capture your gameplay from your console and display it on Kick or Twitch, YouTube, wherever you plan to stream. And the capture card is where all your audio, all your video, everything on your screen will go through the capture card, and then it will go out to the streaming services so other people can see it. So that is a must have. And the third thing, if you're planning to stream from console, is going to be a PC or a laptop. I used a laptop because I was just trying to get started as quickly and as cheaply as possible, and that's what I already had. You can stream if you have a laptop. You probably want to make sure you have at least 16 gigs of RAM. Really, anything less than that is going to be a struggle. Even at 16 gigs, you'll run into some issues. So I definitely recommend 16 gigs of RAM. If you don't have that much, you may be able to upgrade your current laptop so you don't have to go out and buy a totally new one, but that's something you're going to want to look into. The fourth thing you're going to need is your webcam. Obviously, you most likely want to have your camera up so people can watch you while you play. You don't need that. You can just stream your gameplay, and there's definitely people out there that do that. The fifth thing that you're going to need is a gaming headset, and that's going to allow you to capture the audio. Sometimes you may be playing with friends and you want to capture all the audio output from that, so you'll need your gaming headset, and most of you probably already have that. Sixth thing, you're going to want an external microphone. So you're going to want to capture the audio to go into OBS, and the best way to do that, you can do it using your headset mic, but it gets a little bit tricky. I definitely recommend an external microphone, and you can get those. You may think like, hey, that's going to be expensive, and what kind of microphone should I use? Don't worry, there are some inexpensive, very good options out there. The seventh thing you're going to need is going to be your streaming software, and fortunately that is free. I use OBS. It's free to download, free to use. There's other software out there. Streamlabs is another one. So you're going to need streaming software, and then you're going to also want to get a USB hub, more than likely. My laptop only has a couple USB ports on it. Most people's won't have more than, maybe 3, maybe 4. So a USB hub just allows you to plug into your existing USB on your input on your computer, and you can then have, instead of just 1, 4, or 5. I actually use 2 of those because there are a lot of different things that you need to plug in. So that's definitely one thing you want to order in advance so you don't run into issues not having enough places to connect everything when you're ready to start streaming. And the last thing I recommend is a gaming monitor. I used to play just from my TV, like probably a lot of people. A gaming monitor is definitely recommended. It's going to just improve your gameplay. It's going to improve the overall experience. And in my opinion, when you're streaming, it's a lot easier to work with than trying to plug into your TV and do it that way. So gaming monitor you can get relatively inexpensive. There are obviously very expensive options out there, but if you shop around, you can find some options where you don't have to break the bank, and they'll perform a lot better than your television. So the next thing we'll talk about is your capture card. Like I said, that's going to be required for you to stream, to capture your audio, your gameplay, and push that out to whatever streaming service you're going to link up with. Elgato is probably one of the more known capture cards that are out there. If you search online, that's probably one of the names you're going to see pop up a lot. I originally started with the Elgato HD60S Plus. There's a HD60S, the S Plus. The newest one is the HD60X. That's what I currently use. When I first started, my girlfriend also streamed and she switched over to PC, so she had the HD60S Plus, and it was just there. Like I said, I was trying to start without spending a ton of money or unnecessary money, so I used her old capture card first, and then I ended up buying the HD60X, and really they kind of do the same thing. Oops, sorry, wrong box. The HD60X is going to support, it supports 4K 60 HDR pass through, 1080p 60 HDR capture. So if you're really concerned with things like the stream quality and the resolution, the refresh rate, you're going to want to go with the HD60X. And it's probably easier to find because they discontinued the old ones. They don't really make them anymore. So I don't even know if you would really be able to find the old ones for cheaper. But if you do have one around, or you have a friend that has one, or you can find one online for cheap, the 60S Plus is probably fine for most people. But like I said, if you're concerned a lot with the quality and the refresh rate and all those things, and you want to go all out there, then I recommend the 60X. So just some things to look out for. And like I said, there's a link down in the description for the one that I use, so you can just click that, go there, and it also will help support the stream. The other reason that I really like the Elgato is just the ease of setup. You don't need to be a computer engineer to set it up.
What is a specialty in propulsion exactly?
My thesis was a study on the ways that friction ratios affect steering outcomes in aeronautical use under reduced gravity loads.
So you're a rocket scientist?
You can find help online, videos that will walk you through it. And it's just pretty easy for people just beginning in streaming. So that's another benefit of it. And there's a lot that goes on when you're streaming, a lot of setup, a lot of audio setup, and you're going to have to experiment with different settings. And even for two people using the same console and the same capture card, there's just so many different things that go into it that it does take some trial and error. And I just think for simplicity, Elgato is probably going to be one of the easier options, just because, like I said, it's more widely used and you're going to find a lot more help out there online when you're first getting set up. So the next thing that we need to go over is something I mentioned in the intro, is having an external microphone. So obviously you're going to have your gaming headset that you use to talk to your friends or other people in the game. And like I said, you can get by just with that, but there's going to be times where if you're streaming, hopefully you'll start to get some people following you. People will be asking you questions. You'll want to talk to them. And you don't always necessarily want everyone in your party to hear you when you're talking to the people in your chat. So that's where an external microphone comes in handy. It's going to be higher quality, and then you can kind of separate out your voice from the gameplay, and you can have the audio separate, which also has some benefits too. So you don't have to spend a ton of money on a microphone. This is a HyperX SoloCast. This runs about $50 and it's great. This is actually what I'm using to record this video, so I can show it right here. It's on an adjustable arm that you can move around, and that was about, I think, $25. And that will be a totally separate audio channel in your OBS. So when you mute people, if you're in a party, you can mute yourself so everyone else can hear you, and then you can interact with the people that are watching your stream, which is really nice. Definitely recommend it. And like I said, you don't have to break the bank and spend, crazy amounts of money for a really expensive microphone. This is a great cheap option, so I definitely recommend checking this one out, and the link for that will also be down below, so just make sure to take a look at that. So the next thing we want to talk about is a webcam. If you plan to show yourself on your stream, obviously you're going to need some kind of webcam. If you're just going to stream your gameplay, you can just skip this part. You don't need to worry about it. But if you do want to show yourself on your stream, you're going to need, I originally just started off with Logitech webcam. Wasn't super expensive or super high quality, but it was something I already had. Used that, and then I eventually switched over to using my phone. I have a Google Pixel that has a 50 megapixel, really high res, high definition camera. And there is one thing to look out for if you decide to do that. If you have a laptop that doesn't have a ton of memory and doesn't have a lot of processing power, then you can run into issues where it's going to start making your stream choppy. And I definitely ran into that because I just used the laptop I had. I didn't purposely buy my laptop for streaming, so I eventually ended up switching back to my Logitech just to keep the stream quality from getting choppy on me. So that's something that you're going to want to take into consideration too. So the last thing you're going to need are some USB hubs, and those just let you plug into the existing USB ports on your laptop or your PC, and they have usually 4 extra ports, so you can, instead of just having one, plug into that, and then you have 4 extra. And you're going to need that for things like if you have any additional lights you want to set up, your microphone, especially if you use the SoloCast, is USB, and you're just going to need multiple of those. Most laptops only have 2 or 3 USB ports. Some PCs may have a bunch more, but even on PCs, sometimes they'll only have, you know, a few USB ports on there. So I would recommend picking up some of those in advance, so that way when you go to set up, you don't have to stop and run to the store or order them and wait online to get everything set up. Just order them now. I'd recommend at least 2 of the 4 port hubs, and you can just order those on Amazon. I'll have those linked below. And you may want to order some other things. Right now I just got some little LED lights that I ordered off Amazon just to give off a little light to make the stream look better. And those you can get very inexpensive too. And like I said, as you build your stream, if you decide you like it, you want to keep doing it, you can reinvest into making things look better. You can see here I'm streaming in my living room. Don't have a dedicated gaming room yet, but that's something that I'm working on and hope to have soon. But as you kind of build your stream, you can just work on things, improve things. You can get fancy with all kinds of lighting and, you know, a million things that you can do. But this is just hopefully enough to help get you guys started and not break the bank, not have to spend, you know, $1,000. With everything here, you guys can probably get started for somewhere in the ballpark of $500 and use a lot of the stuff that you already have. And then, like I said, gradually get new things, and you can upgrade as you go along. Okay, so we basically went over just about everything that you're going to need to get started. Like I said, there will be links and a list of items in the description. If you make a purchase using those, it helps support the channel. And I'm going to be making another video soon of the process of me actually building my gaming PC. I have, as you can see here, I have started ordering all the components that I need. I'm going to be actually building my PC, putting everything together. I'm going to document that and make a video for that as well. But if you can like this video and just drop a comment and let us know anything that you want to see coming up, we'll have more videos coming. But appreciate you guys for watching the video. And if you have any questions, just comment down below and I'll do my best to answer everyone as soon as I get a chance. Thank you.